That being said, even though the person that submitted this deck the first time was obnoxious, and I had to send them their money back because they were upset I made their mana base functional, we did get a sweet deck out of it. So this deck is based off of the deck list that Jim Davis worked on for the SCG Invitational, Red-White Loxobots, or Mono-White Loxobots. I'm not sure if he had other people that worked on it with him or not, but he played at the Invitational to a top 64 finish or whatnot. And this version of the deck adds a red splash to it in order to enable the card Kuldotha Rebirth, as well as play the card Lightning Bolt. So we played this deck once before. I actually played it in one of my YouTube exclusive videos that I did a couple of times while I was taking some time off over the holidays. So if you want to see this deck played some more after this, you can see the first iteration that we played. So this is, I played it the first time. We talked about things that I thought could maybe be different, and these are the changes that I thought about making after playing it that first time, and we're jumping on into another league here and see how it goes. Yeah, so the first league that we played had 4 copies of Galvanic Blast in the deck, and because of Kuldotha Rebirth and like cracking Mishra's Bauble and your artifact creatures just dying, I wasn't consistently enabling Metalcraft on the Galvanic Blast. So it felt like it was reasonable to replace it with Lightning Bolt. Blast kept being Shock, which wasn't good enough. Remember when your mantra used to be find a reasonable deck to copy and add a land? It is. That is still my mantra. This hand is fine. Yeah, Sturdy said to the board, right? Bauble. I'm just gonna bottom that. We're on the play, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna bottom that. Yeah, this is basically an artifact. Thalia's not a synergistic card. Thalia's just a 2-power, 2-mana creature that provides disruption against combo decks that exist in Modern. So it's just a card that does stuff that we're interested in doing. Real shame we didn't have another 0-mana artifact in our opener. Like, if we'd have had 7 here and been able to have that Bauble in our opener and turn 1 this Leonin Arbiter, we might have got him if they only had a fetch land. That's a Bogle. So probably dead to a Bogle. I assume we're dead to a Bogle, unless the rest of their lands are fetches, but Bogles actually doesn't play that many fetches. And this deck has 0 cards to interact with Bogles in the sideboard, so I might not play this whole match. Seems pretty dry. This is the type of matchup that just like these aggressive decks just can't win. One more month till this crazy mother gets a sword. What's going on, Big Mama Emmercool? Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, I'm just gonna move along with our lives. Just better for everybody. Obviously, Bogles is a style of deck that beats itself on occasion, but the games that you even beat Bogles, they're just, like, not going to be interesting. Like, the games you beat Bogles involve them basically just, like, never casting a spell. Deck confirmed unplayable, can't win a game. So someone commented that this deck is dangerously close to Death and Taxes. So this deck does have similar Death and Taxes style elements to it, but this deck does something that's very important in my mind that Death and Taxes decks don't. This deck has really powerful aggressive draws. And that's one of the things that good modern decks tend to do. They tend to have powerful draws that just run people out of the game. You know, just like turn 1, here's 10 power in play, go. Turn 2, here's 12 or 13 power in play. Turn 3, attack for 16. This is turn 1. This is turn 1 elephant, right? This is turn 1. This is turn 1 11 power. I go Bauble, Thopter, Mox Opal, Rebirth off the Mox Opal, second Mox Opal, Loxodon. This is 11 power on turn 1. Who's ready to get Terminus next turn? Raise your hand, chat. Who's ready to get Terminus next turn? Who's got 2 thumbs, is ready to get Terminus next turn? This guy right here. You mother. They paused on the draw step and my heart skipped a beat. This is my heartbeat song and I'm gonna play it. Oh, we're so dead. We're so dead. Get him. Get frisky, little elephant. Attack. Oh no. Oh no. Yay, they missed. Yay. Yeah, you got me. I was scared. I thought they were coming for us. Oh no. Salt Block with the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cycle this. Alright. Read. All right, so white, rebirth the Bauble. All right, you dodge a sweeper for a turn. Those lands do not cast Supreme Verdict. Standard will be after this league, so probably somewhere between an hour and 90 minutes from now. So, here's the thing. They could be playing Settle the Wreckage, but they're far more likely to have Snap Path than they are to have Settle the Wreckage. So attacking with everything here plays around Snap Path, which means we're gonna get Settle the Wreckage. So just like, again, just, you have to make decisions at every single point in the game, and the opponent's deck likely has 2 copies of Settle the Wreckage at most. A lot of these decks play 0 or 1 copy of Settle the Wreckage, and they had their copy of Settle. They're far more likely to play somewhere between 1 and 3 copies of Snapcaster Mage, though. So it's far more correct to play around the Snapcaster Mage there and kill them, rather than play around the Settle the Wreckage. And again, that's one of the important things to know when you're playing games like this is Magic games are series of percentage plays. You can talk about the things that they're likely to have and how likely they are to have them, and then play around the thing they're most likely to have, and then die to the thing that they're less likely to have. That's just how it goes. It doesn't make the difference between a good Magic player and a mediocre Magic player. One of the many differences is that a good Magic player can look at a percentage play where they lost the game and go, I made the right decision there even though I lost the game because of it. And that means you're going to be able to go back and win more games though. They have Snapcaster Mage, it doesn't beat you. You just wouldn't kill them that turn. Sure, but every turn that I give them to get more draws like that, they have, you know, what does my attack look like where I play around Settle the Wreckage? Do I attack with 3 things? Do I attack with 4 things? If I only attack with 3 things there and they have Snapcaster Mage, then they're more likely to have Terminus the following turn. Like, every turn I give them gives them more time to draw their cards that are relevant. No, I've never played chess. That's not true. I know how to play chess, but I've, like, never played chess, say, competitively. They boarded in the late Line of Sanctity. That's really interesting. So I actually boarded out all my copies of Lightning Bolt, because they're, like, not particularly good in this matchup. This hand's, like, not amazing, but, like, if I hit a Mana Source, I get to, like, play Gideon on turn 3, which is, like, fine. I'm only attacking for 2 with the creatures I put into play, but, like, turn 3 Gideon is probably fine. That's true. If we drew an Opal there, we could have turned 2 Gideon. They could path the Signal Pest here, too, which would be decent for us. Gets us our Gideon next turn. Post-board, they're probably less likely to have counterspells in their deck, because generally they want to trade out counterspells against a deck like ours for cards that are more likely to impact the board. My first resub with Prime. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Land. Ding. All right. We got one ally of Zendikar on our sideboard. It's very good in matchups like this, so let's do it. Four Horizon Canopies is great. We're gonna hold on to that one. Nah, I don't think I want to plus the Gideon into a potential path here. I think just like pumping out a constant stream of 2/2s here is more reasonable and more valuable. Oh, this sequence was wrong. So because of Opt into Terminus, I should attack before making an ally token. So in future turns, I'm going to make sure I attack before ally tokens because of Opt into Gideon, or Opt into the thing. Yes, could also Terminus the Gideon is a real thing. All right, they went bottoms up there with that it's a D-Sphere. Timely reinforcements, okay. So the timely reinforcements here gives me a window to plus the Gideon, right? Which I think is what I'm going to take, especially with the Ornithopters in play. Like, obviously this just reads kill a 1/1, but I think I'm fine with that. So now, next turn, I can downtick the Gideon to add 5 power to play. I guess 2 4-month subs. Rizdick, thanks for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Let's do this one. So they could technically settle our wreckage here, but they'd have to ghost quarter themselves to do that, so let's just smash. That makes sense. Fog resolves. No, I'm saving Kiki Cord for January 29th for the 3-year anniversary of Wall of Roots being bugged. How long did it take before I was making a decent income streaming? I have been streaming Magic the Gathering for going on 5 years. Magic the Gathering wasn't my full-time job until what's it called? Like February of this past year. You should never stream assuming it's going to be a job. The people that are able to stream as and have it turn into a source of income are few and far between. Brutal. That's true. We streamed paper Magic for a long time on this channel. All right, we're done. Or already professional gamers. Yeah, and most people that become successful at streaming generally had an audience from somewhere else outside of Twitch when they came in. Like even myself, while like I didn't have, you know, a huge audience like some other gamers have, like the fact that I had some notoriety in the Magic the Gathering community from being successful traveling on the Magic or the SCG Open series for so long definitely helped launch my ability to turn streaming into a job. It's funny, Matt and I refer to my time spent grinding opens as my unpaid internship to get set up to stream full time. This hand's like not super explosive, but I think it's in the range of keepable. If you are interested in streaming because you think you will like streaming, that's the correct reason to do it. If you think casting yourself playing a game is something that you will derive enjoyment from, then that's something worth doing. But if you're only streaming with the goal that like this could someday be my job, it's probably going to lead to disappointment. In fact, the people that most often have streaming become their job are the people who are doing it because it's something they love doing. This was powerful sequencing on my part. This was me talking and clicking at the same time. Nothing but professionalism on this channel. Professor Panda, congrats and thanks for watching. Good. So people act like if you have a gaming computer, it doesn't really cost much to stream. Like the commonly accepted like good quality microphone that I have is like $100 on Amazon, and the webcam is like 50 or $60 on Amazon. Yeah, so like if I would have played this out properly last turn, I could have played a Loxodon this turn, right? Yeah, I could have played a Loxodon this turn. So we're like pretty far behind here. That being said, I have a pretty quick clock, so with the Thalia we might be okay. It is. I enjoy what I do. It is a lot of fun. And if you think something that you'd enjoy doing, I would definitely encourage you to do it. The blue Yeti microphone. Do I reject decks with Wall of Roots in them? No, not necessarily. I reject decks that are bad. So I think I do this, and then I do this, and I could have done this last turn, but let's not cry over spilt milk at this point. I am shuffling cards. I have the altruist who advertised on my channel, Hurly Burly Studios, she sent me a set of basic lands here that she did border extensions on. So I've got them in my BCW Elite Guard sleeves. I'm sitting here flicking them back and forth in my hand. It's like the Magic player equivalent of a fidget spinner. Nice, SRO. We're going to play some Green Black Elves today when we get to the arena portion. So if I would have had the Opal in play at the start of that turn, 2 turns ago, I could have gone Pest, Pest, and then done this off of these 4, plus the Mox Opal. So I'm a turn behind getting this Venerated Loxodon into play. I guess I shouldn't auto pass here, because I might Judge's Familiar or something. Go back and watch the tape, Gideon. You're missing. So I should have played the Opal 2 turns ago. Instead, I just played it last turn. This might be a grape shot to kill my board, which is a big deal that I'm a turn behind then. Ask my opinions on math, sure. I don't know if I'm going to have a decent one for you or not, but we could certainly try. Lizard Wizard is the creature type we didn't all know that we needed in our lives. Yes. Yeah, my sequencing definitely cost me here. Putting myself a turn behind. So I assume they're gonna put 3 copies of Grape Shot targeting the Thalia here. Well, I guess they only need 2 because the Judge's Familiar can't really do much right now. Matrix theory. I don't know what context that refers to. Using math software is great though. So they're killing my entire board here. So I'm going to sacrifice this to counter 1 targeting my Thalia. Wait, did they only target my Thalia once? They must have another Grape Shot, right? I think they have another Grape Shot here. I'm kind of confused on how they targeted here. For reference, I actually think Common Core math is great. What on earth is this? Is this like a concession attack? Did they mess up too? I think they messed up too. I think that was that they punted and then a concession attack. All right. So here's the thing to rant about Common Core math for a second and people that dislike it. In my experience, a lot of people who are against Common Core math are people that don't understand mathematics to begin with, and people in general are just really afraid of change. If Common Core math probably isn't perfect, it almost certainly isn't perfect actually, but it's a step towards trying things in the right direction. If you never try to improve things, you're always going to remain the same. And Common Core math are new principles through which they're teaching basic mathematic elements to elementary schools in a lot of different places in the United States. It's also a step towards trying to standardize the way in which they teach. So when kids transfer schools to different states and stuff like that, it's their transfer goes more smoothly. It's generally what Common Core math refers to. And in general, people are just terrified of change, and anything that's different is scary. And you gotta try and fail to actually make progress. What am I supposed to do here? I have so many cards to board in. I might have too many board cards for this matchup in my board. I didn't say it was the most efficient. I said it was a step in the right direction because the things we've been doing for years obviously aren't working. If you look at how the United States lines up to other major countries that are educating their children. People just don't, most people don't like Common Core math because they don't understand it because it's different. What am I supposed to do here? I feel like I'm supposed to cut one of these. They did try it in a smaller setting. Eventually you have to scale things up. That's just how it works. Don't be afraid of change. Change is good. Change has to happen. If you want undisputed proof that United States needs to change how it teaches math and topics like that at a fundamental level at the lower levels, go to your local university or community college and look at how many sections of remedial mathematics classes those schools offer. Look at how many classes say 090 or 08 or 07. Those are sections of those classes that are intended to be high school or in some cases even junior high level mathematics that students who are graduating from high school can't do because they're just getting out of school and they just aren't learning the fundamentals. So like something has to change. That's my rant about education. For people that aren't familiar with me, I have a master's degree in mathematics. I was a certified high school teacher in Illinois before I decided I really didn't want to deal with that. I've taught at a bunch of different universities. I've taken a lot of education classes. So like Common Core is actually something I have some thoughts on, as you can see here. Our starts here are pretty good. Turn one Thalia is not bad. My college has 5 sections of Calculus 1 and 8 of 6th grade math. Yep. And now I time people out. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, attack with the Ornithopter, send a message, right? And like, don't get me wrong, all change isn't necessarily good, but if you're pretty sure that the way you've been doing things for forever, if you're pretty certain the way you've been doing things forever isn't good, you need to try something and maybe fail to eventually iterate and progress on the thing that you had previously. I fundamentally believe that if you're going to complain about something, but you're not willing to help try and change it, you should shut up. So like, people that are just like, this has to be bad and we have to go back to what we did before, it's like, well, you were the same people that were saying like the thing that we were doing before wasn't good. So like, which is it? Was that not good, or do you just like want to keep doing it because it's been good enough? This is a pretty good start for us. And this is, someone again earlier mentioned like, this is similar to Death and Taxes. What's different? It's like, well, the difference here is this is turn 2 and I now have 10 power in play. That's what this deck does, which is sweet. Why not rebirth our Opal? That is a good point. I should have rebirthed our Opal. I like that suggestion. I could have had 12 power in play if I'd have rebirthed the Opal, because the Opal's not doing anything here, right? So that's a good suggestion. Look at that. Didn't matter. Hashtag no justice stream. God bless, God bless, God bless. Magic's great, chat. Magic is quite wonderful. No justice stream, best stream. All right, so definitely want Forge-Tender and Path to Exile here, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and trim Thalia. I don't know that I want Rest in Peace. It seems a little bit slow, potentially. Honestly, I might not want these Forge-Tenders either. I might just want the Path to Exiles. Forge is probably better than Judge's Familiar. Her opponent didn't want it as bad as we did. Exactly. What's your take on the most sciencey math? I've actually given this answer a lot, SRO. You want to hear the best teachery answer you'll ever hear to why you need to learn algebra and calculus for your science degrees? As someone who's advancing into a scientific field, learning something like calculus isn't about learning the details of calculus to apply calculus to your everyday job. If you're going into a STEM field, you need to be an adept problem solver. So the reasons why you're taking advanced mathematics going into a STEM-based field is to teach you problem solving capabilities. Calculus is where it really starts to deviate from here's a formula, plug numbers into this formula, and then do the thing. Calculus is where you start taking these sets of rules more rigorously and like really getting into nitty-gritty problem solving based on a set of constraints, which directly applies to things like medical and biology and other STEM engineering fields. It's not about the specific concepts that you're learning, it's about the problem solving skills that you're hoping to apply someday. Because even if you like, you know, can do calculus and like your job is like an engineer that like has indirect calculus in it, the computer's gonna do the calculus for you someday. The taking an actual calc class is about problem solving capabilities. And like, don't get me wrong, some professions have a lot of math built into them, but like a lot of that math is done by the computer for you, and then you just validate that it approximately makes sense. All right, so this hand like needs some more lands in it, but it's pretty reasonable other than that. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Like I've got 2 redraws here. I teach math and physics, and I feel like I give that speech once a week. Yes, every semester I would give that speech, or some variation of it. That speech or some variation of it every single semester. Something that they need to hear. We might play more than one league with this deck. We might play more than one league with this deck. Why did I stop teaching? In the United States, it costs $2,000 per month to put 2 kids in daycare full time. And teaching, especially as an adjunct in the United States, does not pay anywhere near that. Streaming here full time as a job pays me significantly more than teaching as a college professor ever did. And that's I would like to stress that that's an incredibly low bar. Like there were some schools, and I'm not going to tell you which schools, but there were some schools that I taught at where I was paid $1,200 for an entire semester to teach a class. Like for a 12 or 16 week class, $1,200. And the extra depressing part, as a math teacher, I made more than people who were teaching English and some other subjects. I was paid better than people who taught non-math subjects. So when my oldest son was born, I quit my day job and teaching to stay home with the kids full time, and then when streaming seemed like it could ramp up, I launched this into, and this is my job now. And as long as the internet decides that this is okay to be my job, I'm gonna be here having this be my job. All right, so that league, I actually really like this deck, and we played against Bogles twice, and then had a Hollowed One player concede to us. So I'm actually gonna do take two here, because that was a 35-minute 5 matches. So let's try again here. Let's try again here. All right, red white Loxobots, take two. This is just all gonna be one video. The Army is starting an esports team like the US Army. Yeah, let's try again here. We played against Bogles twice, which I'm not playing against because this deck never beats Bogles. And then we had a mediocre match against Blue-White Control, and then we legitimately beat Storm, kind of. I guess they made mistakes, so hopefully we can get like 2 or 3 good matches out of this second run. Have I thought about learning programming? I actually contribute to a number of open source projects. I have a lot of experience doing software, doing Python stuff, do a little bit of C here and there. I regularly interview with companies. I like what I do here. As long I'm not looking for work. I have recruiters that call me once or twice a month based on my LinkedIn profile that I keep updated. As long as the internet deems that I'm allowed to do this as my job here, this is what I'm gonna be here doing. Man, this hand's so close. 9 months of memes, rants, and statistics. Highly appreciate the content. Hey, Hikahuk, thanks for the 9 months of support there. I appreciate that. Woo, excuse me. Welcome back. Yeah, whenever I hear people talk about like the cost of especially private universities, I'm like become incredibly glad that I like went to a community college and then like went to a public university that gave me some small scholarship to go to it, rather than like shelling out for a private university. I can't imagine paying, like, there's some people that pay like 40 grand a year to go to private universities. Like 40 grand is more than like my master's degree cost in total. Medical school is like kind of unique. Like there's a difference between like 300K in debt for medical school and like 160K in debt, so like you can have a degree in performing arts, right? Like one of those is far more likely to lead to a job than the other. And honestly, I think a big part of the upper education system in the United States is that like the way we prepare high school students for college. Oh, I should have played the Opal. Yeah, the way we prepare high school students for college is not ideal. Like when I went to community college, I actually was part of this this outreach team for the school that like went to high schools and told kids about the community college, and like a lot of kids just had no idea what they were doing. They're just like told that like a big expensive university was where they needed to go, and like the people that were helping them make decisions were like putting that idea into their head. They're pathing my deal, I guess. Do you have to pay money to do a PhD? Generally not, especially in like STEM degrees. So like my master's degree, I actually didn't pay for at all, which is the reason why I have a master's degree. And PhD programs are similar. Usually you teach or TA or work for the school when you're doing master's or PhD programs in a lot of places in the United States. Well, they're down to 2 cards in their hand, one of which is a Flicker Wisp. So, like, we're behind at the moment, but we're not, like, impossibly dead. If there are other cards like a Blade Splicer here, we're probably done for. Yeah, that's true. You can elect to pay for it. Oh, I should have attacked with this too, right? Because I don't care if they trade their Flicker Wisp for it. Wasn't that changed to be taxable income with the new law? Probably. I'm not a tax lawyer, though. Yeah, that's pretty common, Zomb. My wife did something similar. She did a couple of years like right after high school, and then like took a break and then went back. And one of the schools in the area where I live now has like a college program that's like focused on classes for returning adult students. Details on how to get a deck of your choosing played on my stream can be found on my website there, bit.ly//sellout. Alright, well, they only have 1 card, so like I guess we're racing here. We're just like both of us have decks full of mediocre Magic cards. Yep. What's the best way to farm wild cards for decks? I'd assume it's just completing your daily quests every day. And then past that, probably playing in the constructed events that give you money. That give you gold. I'm sure people have written posts on the best way to free to play. I genuinely don't know offhand. I just buy all the cards that I need on stream, because this is my job. Credit card is definitely the best way. You're not wrong. All right. Well, Ornithopter means we're winning the race because we can chump block for the turn. This is the problem with playing decks like this, right? Like, you're playing a deck where, like, you have these busted starts, but at the same time, you, like, have to draw Ornithopter on turn 6. Morning, Dober. We drew an 0-2 with flying. They drew a 3-1 with flying. Realize they're racing better than us. All right, I mean, that doesn't win the race for us though, right? If we draw a Bolt, it might. So if we hit them for 3 here, and then next turn we're attacking for 6. No, so we're still gonna be short. Yeah, this is what I like to call a typical modern deck. It like does its thing, it puts its nut draw on the table, and like asks if it's good enough or not. Oh, yeah, I should axe the Sheffet Dunes, right? We're dead regardless. I should have Ghost Quartered the Sheffet Dunes. We're just, like, not winning this race. All right, let's do it. Card games by nature are pay to win. So card games are pay to compete. They're not pay to win. And in order for me to explain that, I need to give you the definition of what I mean by that. In my mind, if you say something is pay to win, it means whoever spends the most money is going to have the best possible chance to win. And in a card game, you can't just spend more money to beat your opponent more. If you both have tier 1 decks, there's a lot of play skill and ultimately variance too that comes into how much you're going to be winning. Obviously, a tier 1 deck is better than a draft deck, and the tier 1 deck's more expensive than the draft deck, but saying card games are pay to win is like saying football is pay to win, because if you don't have proper protective gear, you're going to get really roughed up on the field, and you're not going to have a good chance to win the game. It's like saying, you know, motocross is pay to win because you have to buy a bike in order to race. Card games are not pay to win, you just have to buy a deck in order to compete. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? It's like these two on one, but then I can't play a Loxodon until turn 3, potentially. Golf is pay to win. Yep, exactly. Same kind of things extend to that type of hobby. Sure, but I mean, like, if you're a kid, you probably can't afford good golf clubs, and you can't afford expensive protection gear, and you can't afford other things for other hobbies that obviously aren't pay to win, and you never hear anybody say that, but are very similar comparisons. The difference in Magic and things like motocross and golf and football and these other things that I listed is that a lot of those other activities don't have budget options. So with Magic, you can play not competitively for basically nothing, right? Like you can pick up budget or cheap or underpowered Magic decks and like play what's a game of Magic, even though the decks are weaker than the tiered decks, for basically nothing. Like, you walk into a card store and they'll probably hand you a bunch of bulk for free if you ask really nicely. And you could play Magic with that bulk. Yeah, so the first league, I'm glad we're playing more, because like I'm interested to see like what the consistency of this deck feels like over the course of more games, because the first time we played it, we had a bunch of really explosive hands, and this time through they're kind of middling, so we're gonna get at least, you know, 4 more matches in here of looking at openers. Like, this hand's very good. I get to go turn 1 Ornithopter Rebirth, and then turn 2 I get to go Judge's Familiar, Signal Pest, Loxodon, and I'm gonna have like 12 power in play on turn 2, and I'm gonna be attacking for like 18 on 3. You do pay money for singles on Arena. On Arena, you very directly pay money for singles. You buy wild cards in Arena. You're guaranteed wild cards. All right, Tron player. So I have 10, 11, I have 13 power in play on turn 2, and next turn I'm attacking for 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm attacking for 18 on turn 3. Come at me, Karn! Come at me! Yeah, Ugin and Ownstone cost 8 here. So I actually get 2 shots at Lightning Bolt to kill them. Just like turn 3 lethal. And again, like, this is one of the reasons why, like, we looked, oh, they're playing Blue Tron. Lol. That's valuable information for us. They looked like they were playing good Tron here for a hot second, but we saw Condescend. You think it's possible to play Arena seriously and be almost free to play? Sure, if you value your time at $0 per hour, you can grind whatever you want. Well, it all comes down to what you value your time at. Yeah, I think they should have conceded there. I think they should not have let the Mishra's Bauble trigger resolve. They looked like Green Tron, and now another Blue Tron. Do I actually sideboard in this matchup? I guess Lightning Bolt's not very good. Thalia and Dryad Militant are fine. I don't think I want Path to Exile. I don't think I want Damping Sphere against Blue Tron. Do I? Yeah, I guess maybe I do. Their big plays are what's good against, yeah, maybe I do want Damping Sphere. I'm gonna do this. I want more 1-drops. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. I think we just get on the board so quickly that if they can't, like, O-Stone, Wormcoil, or Ugin, like, they're just not gonna win. This hand has a turn 2 elephant, right? Potentially. So obviously I need to draw a land or a Mox Opal, but I get 2 draws to do that, right? Yeah, zero mana creature also does it. They are gonna have Tron in the play here though. Or they're not. Or they're not gonna have Tron in the play. Just like this is so gross. Like this is literally just what? This is 8, 9, 10, this is 12 power on turn 2 and I ghost cornered them? And I ghost cornered them? Please stop. Please stop. God has feelings. Please stop. All right, this is a really valuable lesson for everybody out there who wants to play against Tron. Never ghost quarter the tower because Tron players are lucky and always have another tower. Always go for the mine. Hey, Ugin doesn't even do it, huh? Because I've got a bunch of colorless creatures. No fire, no steel. Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay. Oh, are they gonna get to double spatial contortion me here? I should have done this on my turn when they didn't have 2 mana up. So like now if they have another spatial contortion, they can spatial again. Put this towards infinite dinos. Will do. Thanks for the support, Demir Spy. I am going to be streaming this weekend at some point, by the way. I just don't know exactly when yet. Dismember, yep. I got excited when you said that. I was on another tab and heard that, and I thought you dropped a great Mentor Pirate. I'm actually not going to cast Thraben Inspector here, because if they have the counterspell that lets them scry, I'd rather they not be able to cast it. This is 2-time Pro Tour champion, Judges Familiar. This Judges Familiar probably has more PT wins than everybody in chat combined. Yes, it's very similar to the Kuldotha Pauper deck. Of course they had the tower, chat. You know how much Modern I've played? I wouldn't just tell you that they always had the tower if they didn't always have the tower. Come on now. We already played the blue-black ninjas deck, the Esper ninjas deck from this morning. It'll be up on YouTube later. That was a legacy deck. We started with that this morning. His hand just doesn't do enough, right? Just like 4 lands, it can't Loxodon till turn 3 at the earliest. This hand's like not amazing, but I think it's fine. If it scries into a Loxodon, it's very, very good. It gets a couple of draws and redraws. It was a legacy deck read. We got legacied in match 3 and dropped the league at 1 and 2. A Ninja Turtle Jr. Well, welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday wherever you're at. TGIF, everyone. I think if you enjoy interactive Magic the Gathering, you will love this current standard format. It is actually a golf polo. I love the material on these things. They breathe really well and they feel nice. This current standard format has a variety of combo decks that are very competitive. Probably far more competitive than the decks you're talking about. My favorite standard decks are mostly pieced together on my website, Ouch to Pierce. Blue-Black Pirates and Mono-Black Chromatic Lantern, or not Chromatic, Mono-Black Banefire are some of my favorites, if I had to pick out a couple. They milled my elephant. That's sad. And put 2 O2s into play. Brutal. Alright, it's a good draw. So Signal Pest means we can attack into the Krabby Patties next turn, which is nice. Attacked with Ornithopter because it was quicker to click through. They could just race us here. If they have something like main deck Crypt Incursion, we probably can't beat them. No, we don't play Limited on this channel. We play all constructed. Play Legacy and Modern on Magic Online in the mornings and Standard on Magic Arena in the afternoons. Oh yeah, that's true. They have the stupid artifact that mills you based on things that untap. That's really true. Good call. I just don't really care for limited Magic in general. The types of gameplay that Limited generates compared to Constructed, I tend to find dry. In Limited, a lot of the skill that goes into playing the format tends to be in how you draft and assemble your deck, which tends to mean the gameplay, especially in like non-cube, non-masters Limited, tends to be kind of dry, in my opinion. Yeah, cube and things that generate higher powered Limited formats I don't mind too much, but like normal like 3-pack draft or whatever it is for like the current set, not a huge fan. Knowing all the tricks is important though? Sure. Memorization is important. I agree with you. If I wanted to memorize, I'd go take a math test. Yeah. I'd rather just know the constructed playable cards and like practice playing good Magic inside of that. Like, in my opinion, playing with more powerful cards is more fun. So that's why I like playing constructed. Because playing with more powerful cards than constructed I find more interesting. Every format of Magic requires plenty of skill to be good at. Anybody who tells you otherwise is either a salty little monster or lying, or just stupid. One of the three. Good luck, Dougie. So I mean, if they don't have, we still have 26 cards in our deck here. So like by the glory of Signal Pest, we could be okay. They cast Crypt Incursion that I was talking about earlier. I should GQ the Shelldock Isle. Maybe. If I GQ the Shelldock Isle, I get milled 6 off the Hedron Crabs, which I'd prefer not to have happen. Crypt Incursion main board's pretty common. The mill deck as a whole is really slow in terms of trying to race other decks that exist in Modern, so they need to have ways to like buffer their health total or interact. They can't just like be purely linear. I mean, it's not really a gamble either way, commonplace. It's like gambling that they have something under here versus giving them a guaranteed 6 mills. That's really unfortunate. I think that means we're just dead. Just not gonna be able to win at this point. They get to block 2 of my things, but I'm only hitting them for 5 a turn, and they're currently at 22. Here's something you gotta learn about this channel if you're new. If you want to make a strong statement, like X deck was very good and tiered, and it goes against the common belief that it was probably a garbage meme, you need to cite a source. I feel like if something as ridiculous as Aetherflux Reservoir was top 8ing a bunch of major tournaments in the last standard format, nobody would have been complaining about it being a rancid pit of Hazarets and other Kaladesh nonsense. You might have had fun playing it, but, you know, let's be realistic, shall we? This is not like most of the rest of the internet. If you spew unsubstantiated claims here, you're gonna get a break. Yeah, that sounds fine, right? It's like turn 1 Kuldotha. Oh no, chat. Oh no. Oh no. Somebody posted somebody was really upset about my mythic claim. I posted a bad take. Where? What? You know what's really weird? You know what's really weird? They posted all of this, and not one of their claims in here mentions money. They talk about one choice for Mythic. His answer was just scarcity, but indirectly say the price of the secondary market. In the same vein, Mythic choose respective feeling. So okay, so that addresses money. Yeah. Tend to be split by complexity. Yeah, you know. Look at that. We made someone do their homework. I need to stay off Reddit, even when people link me stuff. How's my day going? It's all right, Optic. I can't respond to posts, Marty. All my actual Reddit accounts are gone, but occasionally I still link and read. Hey, Arky, thanks for the resub. Sorry about that. I appreciate the 11 months. Welcome back. Happy New Year to you too. I don't know that I can race that card. I guess I get to wasteland them this turn, so like maybe I can race this card. The problem is that, like, for every 1 damage I deal... Yeah. I don't really have anything. I don't have any ways to take artifacts and enchantments off the table, so let's just run it back. I did not, Speed. What's going on, Nivik? Thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate it. I never apologize. You've given an absurd amount here. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything, right? Thanks for all the support over the last year, Nivik. Good luck in Columbus this weekend. This hand is like a scry with it, I guess. The Ninjas deck got legacied out of a match against Death and Taxes, and I decided I didn't feel like playing anymore. Wasteland, and Vrishadin Port are just miserable cards. So that was a viewer submitted deck list straight camping, and I don't think the mentors are actually very good in that sideboard. They should probably just be something like Carnage Tyrant. Some other anti-control card. Hey, what's going on, 77? Thanks for the 12 months there. I appreciate the whole year. Welcome back. Well, now we have nothing. Awkward. Oh, they don't have a land. That's good. So I waited to use the Mishra's Bauble here, and the reason for this is I want to not draw an extra card since they have discard spells until it's my turn, so that way they don't have a chance to take my card away from me. It's a great view of the dumpster. I mean, that's like not even really good, right? I'd really like to draw an elephant. Oh, well, that's an elephant. Do I Thalia? So I could Rebirth plus elephant, or I could just Thalia. I think I'm supposed to Thalia. They have a second land coming next turn, but I think I'm still supposed to do this. I feel pretty bad if they play a discard spell, though. I mean, like, this waiting arguably gives me more of a clock, right? Because it's gonna let me spread this out over more things, basically. So, like, now we have a pretty fast clock. It says 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 power. And I'm attacking for +6. I'm actually attacking for 20 next turn. So this Leonin Arbiter is actually really good, because the Leonin Arbiter makes it so we can't search our deck with the Field of Rune, which means that they can't activate Archive Trap. Oh, they can Archive Trap this turn though, right? That's unfortunate. So if they have a trap here, we could be dead. It doesn't look like they have a trap. So they have to chump block here, at least one thing. The rate at which this deck can put power into play is really impressive. We've had like multiple turn 1 10 power turns today, turn 2 12 plus power. So they need land plus Ensnaring Bridge, or like land plus Bantus, or land plus Crypt Incursion. Even Crypt Incursion here won't give them that much time. They've got a ton of power in play. Alright. I think this is easily the best Leonin Arbiter deck in Modern. Yeah, I think that's likely very true, Burgle. Oh, this hand is so close to great. This hand draws a white-red land. The new event is not limited, chat. It's not. We get to play Constructed on the pre-release event. I wouldn't play if they're only letting us play Limited. There's zero desire to take a day off from streaming Constructed to stream Limited. I think I'm supposed to mulligan, because if I don't hit a white and red land, this hand is really bad. And I only have 13 sources, or 12. I have 8 duels and 4 mocks. So sick, but I am entertained. Mr. Tasty, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back. Yeah, pretty sure that's supposed to be a mulligan. It's fine. Like, not amazing, but fine. Good luck, Patreon. Keep up the good work. Long-time Modern viewer who you got to love Arena. Well, thank you for the 2 months, Cohen. I'm glad you're enjoying Arena as well. I know I am. I think Thalia's good in the dark. Is it? Do I keep Thalia, or do I keep Thalia, or do I like ship it, hoping to draw something more impactful? Maybe I'm supposed to draw something more impactful. Let's do that. I get to go Plains, Opal, Memnite, Signal Pest, Thraben Inspector on one here. It's like Storm is 4. Storm is 5, yes. More impactful. More Ornithopters. More Ornithopters. Bring on the Ornithopters. No, this is a different natural. It's another Watery Grave deck, it looks like. Yeah, the website now is actually a content page as opposed to just a random blog speed. Previously, it was just a WordPress blog. Does this deck feel as good as it looks? I don't know. I think the answer at the end of the day is like, this is just another modern deck. Like, it's just another one of those things that's doing like something degenerate, linear, and obnoxious, and like, it can race with the best of them and has some good disruptive elements. I'm actually going to play this, and I'm going to crack the clue off of these two, so that way if I hit a Kuldotha Rebirth, I can cast it this turn, or another red spell. Yeah, we put what's it called? We put like 11 power into play on turn 1. We had a turn 3 where we attacked for 18 on turn 3 against a Tron player. It was quite good. This deck is definitely more closer to the playstyle of the old Affinity decks than Hardened Scales is. This is more of a swarm deck. It's probably harder to ignore a guy doing a bit under 1K viewers, an application that doesn't really pull in viewers. It's going on, Foxicon. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I applied for their... So the thing that they did, like, nobody at WotC reached out to me directly, specifically, right? Like, they just have an open application. They just didn't ignore my application, so that's nice. So that I'm not, like, fully blackballed. I just have to, like, apply. My Twitter feed is full of Magic the Gathering deck lists and ideas on how we can all be nicer to each other. The old cast a collective brutality, do nothing and die. Welcome to Modern, I guess. Do I put them on a control deck? Licking, salty. All right, well, what's going on? Thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me in plate here. I do appreciate that. So I think it's Thalia and Dryad Militants in. Lightning bolts out. Seems fine. They could be fairies. Yeah, that's true. Could definitely be fairies. So we've got this match and one more for Modern, and then we're going to be moving on to Standard and Arena for the rest of the day. It could be Milligan. Yeah, this seems like pretty reasonable. It's not like a blisteringly fast start, but it's like probably fine. It's decent through a discard spell. Well, I mean, to give you a picture, Quarth, TCC's been doing what he's been doing for a long time, and he has 400,000 YouTube subscribers and over 100,000 Twitter followers, I believe. I by comparison have 40,000 followers on Twitch and only 10,000, 11,000 followers on Twitter. So it's like the degree to which are like I am large compared to Tolarian Community College large, just like night and day. Bilbo the Burglar, thanks for the 9-month resub. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. We'll get a new non-rotating format on Arena next fall. So October. Vegged, thanks for the 14-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah. Like Tolarian has more followers and subscribers on YouTube than like Channel Fireball and Star City Games do. What's going on, the dude rants? My holiday season's been wonderful. Thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Yeah. TCC is objectively the largest Magic content creator. He's a good dude too. Talk with him on occasion. Never met him in person, but we message back and forth occasionally. Is this just like another mill deck? Different username, another mill deck though. Interesting. Yes, TCC's YouTube is bigger than Wizards of the Coast YouTube channel. Yeah, he works hard and makes good stuff. If we don't get Ensnaring Bridge or Damnation, we should be in an okay spot. He says as he gets Ensnaring Bridged. Orb, sure. So I think I want to put this other elephant into play. Do I, or do I just want to smack them? So I have 11 power in play and they're at 18. Yeah, I might just want to lethal them. I think it's actually just smack them. I mean, putting a Loxodon into play is also 2-turn lethal for reference. Elephant is worse against Bridge. That is very true. And in fact, I'm going to play this out to make us slightly better against Bridge. Give us a little bit more attackers to get under it. If they do have Bridge, Thalia could potentially... Thalia could potentially keep them from emptying their hand before we kill them. And it's like these leagues, so like we've been playing for an hour and a half with this deck, and we're almost done with our second league, and like it just like shows kind of the absurdity of like trying to prepare for a modern tournament. Like we won game one. Like we've played Mill twice in this league, and we played Bogles twice in the league before this. And while like both of those are decks that definitely exist in modern, like they aren't like 40% of the format, right? They aren't decks that like you'd be surprised to see them once per major event, much less twice, right? There's just like so many different decks you could be playing against that predicting them is impossible, which actually makes playing a deck like this one that we're playing a pretty good choice, because just like having a strong proactive game plan tends to be a great choice in modern in general. All right, so this will be our last match of Modern before we move on to some Standard on Arena for the rest of the day. Scourge of Mill, yep. Watery Grave Agent Crab. Amulet, okay. All right, so what do I want to do here? It's definitely Opal, Ornithopter. This Leonin Arbiter is about to be real good. I can't turn one Arbiter. That is not something I can do. So the question here is, do I rebirth the Opal or do I rebirth the Ornithopter? I think I'm supposed to rebirth the Opal. Thanks for showing us that our memes don't have to be dreams. Oh, great, Jester God. What's going on, Eternal Witness? Thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. That is a Sky Shroud Ranger. It lets them put a land from their hand into play. I think I want to get rid of the Opal because the Ornithopter is worth points of damage with the Signal Pest, and I really don't need the extra land at this point. Yeah, Amulet can still turn to you. It involves double Amulet though, which is less likely. Why does Sky Shroud look like someone scanned it into Moto with their cell phone? Because all of the artwork on Magic Online is incredibly low resolution. Right, they've got their namesake. What's going on, full on tilt? We aim to please here. Yeah, Sunhome's very common. It's one of the ways in which they kill quickly. They give their Titan double strike and attack you for 16. So we're attacking for 7 on turn 2, which is decent. We're attacking for 10 on turn 3. Get to put some disruption into play here. MTGO was released in 2002. Yep. Gosh, MTGO could go get a driver's license. Isn't that saying something? Take the car out for a spin. It could almost vote. Don't let Moto drive the car. When they talked about self-driving cars, they didn't plan for Magic Online being the one driving it. We weren't prepared. We weren't prepared. Yeah, I actually really don't mind Leonin Arbiter in this deck, and part of the reason for that is this deck can play it on turn 1, which is nice. So like turn 1 Leonin Arbiter gives you free wins in Modern, and I'm a big proponent of like playing decks that give you free wins in this format. We could see them pay 2 for the Leonin Arbiter and then transmute a Teleria West here if they have it. We do get to attack them for 10 next turn down to 3, and then we potentially kill them the following turn with the Judge's Familiar or a Lightning Bolt off the top. We had one good match against Delver, and then I might have tilted off in the face of Wasteland and Rishadan Port and dropped after 3 matches. This is their turn 3 through Disruption. This is their turn 3 through Leonin Arbiter. Welcome to Modern. Enjoy your stay. Didn't lose my streak. Zeke, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate you dropping in to give your support. And onward, upward, backward, forward. It's a Path to Exile matchup. Thalia for Damping Sphere is an easy swap. Do I just do Path for Bolt? It's probably fine. Pathing their first Titan is probably game winning most of the time. I don't know, is Canonist good enough? I guess Canonist is good against their packs. Canonist just like has a chance to just like do nothing though, is the issue, right? This hand has 6 power on turn 2. Is that good enough? What a messed up format. I have to ask that question. Is 6 power turn 2 good enough? It's probably not, right? I do have a Ghost Quarter, that's true. I guess I have Mishra's Bauble to draw an extra one. Like I could draw, if I draw a 1 mana, any other 1 mana creatures or like a Kuldotha Rebirth, I have a lot of power on turn 2. I think this is like the low end of keepable. Would love to draw 2 1 mana creatures here. Path's Disruption. Creatures gain Riot. Does Riot stack or no? Alright, I mean, that's technically more disruption, I guess. That's fantastic. It stacks on the stack, stacks on stacks on stacks. Stone Rain you. So the Judge's Familiar here is actually like a pretty okay draw, because it means I have 7 power in play, right? And they're at 14. So I just like have them dead on, have them dead in 5. What do I think of 8-Rack in Modern? I think it's both generates uninteresting gameplay and is incredibly underpowered. Decks that don't kill their opponent proactively tend to really struggle in Modern and not be fantastic. Was that a good draw? What do we think? This hand came together nicely. Welcome to Thunderdome. Why do we need a way to interact with artifacts post-board? All right. Wasteland you. Yes, I have Judge's Familiar, so I shouldn't auto-yield. This Path to Exile is lethal. They don't have another blocker. Wouldn't be Friday if I wasn't donating to Hoog Daddy. Here's to Modern. My worst fear is that you become an arena-only streamer. Don't leave the degenerate format. What's going on, USCG? My intentions for the future of my channel are to continue to have some Modern and Legacy in the mornings on Magic Online, at the very least until we get a new non-rotating format on Arena in the fall. So between now and October, when we get that format, there will definitely continue to be this format on these formats on my channel. And if the new format seems sweet and it scratches the itch for a non-rotating, there's a good chance that like I stop doing Modern every day and maybe just do it 1 or 2 days a week. But I definitely don't want to play all standard all the time. Like, variety is really important. Like, Arena is fantastic, and I love this current standard format, but I don't want to play just standard all the time. This hand's really good. Yeah, maybe standard could be bad. I don't know. With the play design team, that's probably less of a possibility. The other thing too is, right, like nothing's set in stone. Like I don't jump to big conclusions. I don't make decisions super far in advance without like thinking it through. So do I rebirth here? I think I do. I think I rebirth off the Opal, right? Because the Opal's not going to make mana anymore anyways. Yeah, honestly, I was expecting to like move into doing some artifact stuff once that released. And this current timeline that I'm in, where like Magic is the future of esports, is kind of wild and awesome. It's really kind of sweet. Yeah, it's like, so Christy went out last night to go out with some friends, and like I put the kids to bed, and I was like, I actually loaded up Artifact and played it for the first time since they did their patches. I like played a couple of games. I was just like, man, this game just really isn't fun. It's like really dry. I think, hopefully we don't get engineered explosives here. Explosives would be real bad for us. I don't think Modern's ever coming to Arena. I don't think it's unreasonable to speculate that Modern's just never going to happen there. Peace, go over and have a good one. The next non-rotating format might be really, really good. I think we might be about to crush this Amulet Titan players 5-0 dreams. Have a damping sphere go. Yeah, I wonder if Valve's gonna bite the bullet and like still have their $1 million artifact tournament. Their multi-million-dollar artifact tournament. Because they announced that that was the thing they were going to be doing. Yeah, that sounds right, Bob. What's going on, little Bappy? Yeah, I agree. This deck is like a good Hate Bears deck in Modern. It's a Hate Bears deck if Hate Bears could put this really impressive fast clock into play. So we went 4-1 in this league, and we went 2-3 in the league before it, conceding 2 matches to Bogles without playing. So even if we count the Bogles matches as losses, we went 6-4 on the day with this deck. Thoughts on the configuration we played? I really liked the card selection that we had in here. The bolts, I think, were better than Galvanic Blast at most points. Thraben Inspector was really good. I can see why Jim Davis played that card. There's probably still some work to be done in terms of the sideboard slots. When we played against Storm, I felt like I had too many cards for the Storm matchup. Yeah, I think if you wanted to work on this deck, I would sit down and go over what are the common cards you're cutting and bringing in every matchup and figuring out where you have too many cards and where you have not enough cards in the sideboard. Like, I'm pretty confident you want, like, Path to Exile and Forge-Tender and, like, 2 Damping Spheres, but I'm like, what's the mix of these other cards that you want is something worth thinking about, I think. Like, there's a good chance, like, these Canonists are not good, perhaps. No, if you're looking for a new aggressive deck in Modern and you have, you know, $400 laying around for Mox Opal or whatever this card costs, it's at least like $50, right? So, at any rate, we're gonna move on along to, I'm gonna put my headphones on because it's time to play some video games.